When we grow up, we're generally taught that some feelings are bad while other feelings are good. But what if neither of those statements were true? See, we've been programmed to fight or run away from emotions, thoughts, and feelings that make us feel uncomfortable. Our brain thinks, well, if it's painful, let's not be around it. Let's run. We call that avoidance. So is there a better option? What if I told you there was an easy way to step outside of the battle we have with our mind as it continues to rage on? If you want to know, well, heck yeah, dude, you're in the right place. In today's episode, we're talking about the second pivot in acceptance and commitment therapy, which is pivoting away from avoidance and embracing acceptance. Hey everybody, welcome to the Inner Revolution. My name is Enoch Fossum. I'm a marriage and family therapist intern who specializes in addiction. Now, before we go any further, if you haven't listened to pivot number 1, I highly recommend you pause this. Okay, I'll be here when you get back. Pause this and listen to the episode before this one. And I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, but you will want to listen to both eventually. If you want to go in chronological order, then you want to start with pivot number 1. This is pivot number 2. Pivot number 1 is about diffusion. It's about separating ourselves from the sticky thoughts that we have every now and again. So that can be a really helpful episode to go listen to before this one. But again, if you want to listen to this while you're already here, go ahead, do it, and go back and listen to the episode 1. So early on in the development of therapy modalities, it was thought that attacking the specific harmful or uncomfortable thought was the way to go about things. And CBT, or cognitive behavioral therapy, called it challenging the stinking thinking. Now, if that didn't work, therapists would teach clients to think about something else other than the thought or emotion that was actually causing the pain. And we call that avoidance or running away. In a lot of modalities, these are all strategies that, they're still strategies, in fact, that can work for some people. So don't get me wrong, if you have tried these in the past, if you've gotten rid of your stinking thinking by challenging the thoughts, by attacking, and it worked for you, that's great. Keep doing it. There are just some studies showing that there is a better way, which is acceptance. So here's a quote from Stephen C. Hayes from the book A Liberated Mind, How to Pivot Towards What Matters. He's also the creator or the founder of acceptance and commitment therapy. So he said, the great irony of emotional avoidance is that it denies one of our strongest human desires. We yearn for experiences that make us feel. It also denies us one of our greatest strengths. Feeling is a key to our survival, not only in helping us learn about dangers, but in guiding us to the sources of joy and fulfillment. You look at babies, for instance. When they're exploring this newly found world, they do everything they can to feel, see, taste, and hear literally everything. And you might find yourself cringing as you watch them put this new piece of dirt they just found into their mouth to hopefully spit it out and move to the next piece of tasty dirt to try, or maybe a little bit of grass in there as well. However, Stephen Hayes points out the fact that feeling does not stop at the 5 senses. Babies love to be surprised with a peekaboo, or threatened with a surprise little tickle and a playful, "Roar, I'm gonna get you." My daughter is obsessed with that right now. She runs up to me and says, "Daddy gonna get you." She loves being chased, right? She loves the feeling of the thrill of being threatened, of potential danger, but all in a safe way, right? So this yearning to feel in this way doesn't stop when you grow older. We love to watch things like scary movies. I don't personally, but a lot of people do. Sad movies and comedies. And so you can't really find a single emotion that humans do not seek out in a safe way. These are why things like amusement parks are so popular, right? Because we have that thrill of danger, but we know that we're safe. Same thing goes for things like rappelling down a canyon. You're in safe gear, but it's terrifying. These feelings, however, need to stay within a certain range of intensity and predictability, or they can become too uncomfortable. We love to feel what we don't like pain, right? So avoidance starts when these emotions cross that threshold from fun and exciting to scary and threatening. The dictator within, this is what we talked about in episode number 1, So the dictator within, or your brain, the problem-solving mind, thinks the solution is to focus on feeling good again. Acceptance, however, moves the focus away from feeling good to feeling good. Now let me say that again. Acceptance moves the focus away from feeling good to feeling good. So the emphasis there, we move it from good to feeling. We want to feel good, not feel good. It's so much easier to see in writing. But I think you get the idea. Now, what does that even mean? If I have the thought saying that I'm a worthless piece of crap, do I just accept that I'm a piece of crap? No. That's the wrong lens that you're looking at. So acceptance doesn't mean to believe. Acceptance comes from the Latin root that denotes to receive, as if to receive a gift. Through that lens, take the thought of I'm a worthless piece of crap and willingly receive it, or in ACT we say make room for it. Story time. Imagine you're having a big old block party to celebrate the beginning of summer. I only say that because we're getting into the cooler seasons and that makes me sad. So to prepare for this block party, you put signs all around your neighborhood saying, "Everyone welcome." A couple of days before that event, a homeless man, okay, now let me preface this, I have nothing against homeless people. A homeless man was traveling through the neighborhood and saw these signs you put all around. On the day of the block party, people start showing up. You see your neighbor John and your great auntie Brooke. You get a feeling of love and excitement to be around all of these people as you welcome them all to this event. As the party goes on, you see this homeless man show up. He makes you a little uncomfortable and you don't want to go up and talk to him like you have all your other guests. And to your surprise, he brought some other homeless friends. Yay! Now you're not only uncomfortable, but you're starting to get upset. And the more you focus on these homeless people, the angrier you become. Okay, again here, nothing wrong with homeless. Nothing wrong with the homeless, all right? But you're so angry that you don't even notice a big group of your best friends show up. Because you're so angry and you're focused on the group of homeless people. Now you tell your other neighbor, Rich, about what you're seeing. And Rich points out the fact that, well, you posted 100 signs around the neighborhood saying that everyone is welcome. From here, your anger quickly turns to embarrassment as you realize you actually posted 112 signs saying that everyone is welcome, and you even put everyone in all caps. So neighbor Rich says you don't have to go and talk with them. You can just let them hang around. And as you do this, you find that they were just really here for neighbor Marge's cookies, and then they leave. So after they leave, you realize that half of your night was ruined because you chose to focus on these people you deemed as not welcome, even after all the signs you put around your neighborhood, 112 signs to be exact. So the moral of the story, when you're willing to accept any emotion or thought that comes your way, be prepared to have some emotions that make you uncomfortable. And if you focus on these emotions, it will only make you upset, ashamed, angry, anxious, sad, etc. So according to the story, what should you do? Well, accept that they're here. They're really only here for Aunt Marge's cookies, right? Let them hang around for as long as they want, and then let them go as they please. Now, when you're willingly receiving or accepting any thought or emotion that comes your way, you first need to use pivot number 1 by diffusing from those thoughts. So you're not labeling them as bad or good. They're just thoughts, nothing more. You don't even have to talk to them, right? Noticing these thoughts is enough. Take away the pressure that you might feel to try and deal with them, or I'm going to go kick them out because it might make my other thoughts here uncomfortable. Making room for any and all emotions is the key. Do everything you can to remove the friction between you and uncomfortable emotions. If it's helpful to welcome them into the party, then do it. Address them head on, but don't feel like you have to. Acknowledge that they are there and move on. Where focus goes, energy flows. You can't always control what thoughts come into your mind, but you can focus on what thoughts you choose to focus or not focus on. So unlike the first episode here, unlike the pivot number 1, rather than talking about the different exercises you can do to practice acceptance, I've actually provided a document down below with a handful of exercises you can try. So give that bad boy a look-see and let me know if any of them are helpful. So I appreciate you for listening to this episode. If it helped, go ahead and share it to a friend that you might think could benefit from this. If you do find any of these episodes or even these acceptance exercises helpful, then let me know down below. Or if you have been using an exercise that may not be on that list, then let me know too. There are so many different ways that you can practice acceptance in general, so don't limit yourself to anything on the document. Okay, you guys are awesome. Peace and love. Talk to you next week.